Welcome to episode 3 of Nerd Stalker. We attend the San Francisco New Tech Meetup and talk backing up with Backblaze, centralizing your sales experience with snappy stuff, politics with Govit, and micropayments with TipJoy. All right, we're with Taylor here at the San Francisco New Tech Meetup, and he's got a really cool, I've even reluctant to call it application, but it is a web application that really directly could impact a lot of people's lives. A way to get involved in government, etc. I will let Taylor expand on it. Please, Taylor, have at it.
All right, well, thanks. So yeah, right, it is a web application, and really, the genesis of it was as I was reading all these political blogs, and I'm getting, kind of politically active. And, other than reading the blog and commenting on it, I didn't really feel I had a great way of taking action. Years ago, I'll go back and tell a long story ago. When I was 18, I was actually in the Army and served in the first Gulf War. Here at the second Gulf War, I was here in San Francisco protesting it, and so that's as politically active as I've gotten, and I wouldn't say that I really enjoyed the experience. Actually, I thought it was, pain in the butt, getting out there, stomping around, and it didn't really accomplish a whole lot. And so over the years, I've been thinking, how can we actually, take it to the next level, and take some real meaningful action. And so I built Govit, and on Govit, it's got all the congressional legislation. Everything from issues on net neutrality, which we should all be interested in because it's going to hurt people like us, to things like the Iraq War. Monday, the president just signed a bill for $162 billion to be going over to the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. Contrary, $2.7 billion went to the Midwest flood victims. So imagine what we could do with our infrastructure with, if we had a little bit more control in what happened with our tax dollars. So that was really the genesis, is how can we take action? You can go on the site, vote, and then you can have your vote sent directly to your reps. So it's a one-stop, easy action process.
So that was the impetus. The creation for Govit. It seemed like you guys had some really cool features on the website. I saw, where you could actually contact your representative directly. You could see how your vote correlates with your representative's vote.
Yeah, that's right.
And can you expand on that more?
Right, so as you go through the site and you start voting on legislation, you're going to accumulate a record. The same way your representatives accumulate a record. And then you'll be able to compare your vote compared to their vote. You can also compare your vote to other members in your district. So you can see how people in San Francisco are voting, or in California, or how your vote compares to another state or another person. You could potentially see how your vote stacks up to Barack Obama or John McCain.
So the input you got from the crowd tonight, did you get any good insight here? I heard some really interesting sort of ideas, questions. Did it rack your brain going? What do you want to do? The future with Govit? What do you think?
Well, tonight was a great experience because I got a lot of unique feedback that I hadn't heard before.
Smart crowd.
Yeah. Definitely the thing that kind of stands out was people are saying, how about the reps getting back to me? How about a representative dashboard where, I take my action, but I want them to confirm that my action was received. And that was the real big takeaway.
So I think what I see a lot of people doing, or some people, maybe people I know, with sites like moveon.org or whatever, you're signing a petition, you're sending it, you're hoping it goes to someone, and something's being done, or yeah, you're right. I'm not getting anything back. Is any action being taken? What are your thoughts on that sort of,
Yeah, I think that's the natural next step, which kind of came out here tonight, was getting that kind of, closing the loop. It's one thing, I'll give you an example. The FISA bill, I don't know if you're familiar with that. That just passed recently, and that's the bill that gives President Bush the ability to do warrantless wiretaps, as well as the telecoms get an immunity. So it would be great, our representatives here in California, one voted for it, one voted against it, and I sure would like to know why.
That was wild to see. I mean, that was really strange to see when you were showing, Taylor shows these sort of the color of the United States based on votes and representatives' votes, and you showed California, and I thought it would be uniform.
That's right.
And it was shocking that it wasn't.
I know.
So, what do you think about that?
Yeah. Don't vote for them.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. What's really cool is to see how the community is voting. Their thoughts on it too. You seem pretty actually neutral, as a part. You obviously have your take and your thoughts on it too. But it seems like if I'm a Republican or whatever, I can get on Govit too, and I'm theoretically I'm pro Bush or something like that. You're not going to stop me from saying what I got to say, are you?
No, absolutely not. Govit's a nonpartisan platform. I can't influence what votes go to the top, or it's all directed by activity of the users. And I would encourage everyone to get on. I think there's some great people on both sides of the aisle. I think there's a growing part of our culture who's more independent. Maybe fiscally conservative and socially liberal. And so I think when we break it down to the issues, we can kind of shed some of those traditional, silos.
Right. Yeah, the world isn't black and white, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I'm not a Democrat.
Right. And Taylor, is doing this. He's been developing this site out of his own pocket, and so I encourage all of you guys to, support him and what he's doing. And Taylor, where are you guys? How do I get there? What's the domain? And
Sure, it's govit.com, Govit.com.
Awesome, Taylor. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you.